back in June 2020, and questions and comments that were raised on the surgical strikes. When it comes to Balakot strike, it was called as farzical. Even when it comes to Akhilesh Singh from the Congress party, who had questioned back in October 2019, questioning the surgical strikes take place only before the elections in major states. There is another one that came in back in 2019 March, and that is from Mehbooba Mufti, raising the question that have every right to question the credibility of the Balakot strikes. And in March 2019 itself, when it comes to Navjot Singh Sidhu, who was now mocking rather when it comes to the strikes that were carried out, saying that were you uprooting the trees or terrorists across the border. The Pulwama attack, also another comment that came in from Sam Pitroda, known for his controversial comments, that time has said that Pulwama attack was a routine and Pakistan cannot be blamed, giving a clean chit to the rogue nation. Before that, in 2018, there were another comment that is coming in from Abdul Majid Larmi from the NC, saying that there are black sheep in the Indian Army. So questions that were directly raised, even not just on the Indian Army, but the then Army Chief General Bipin Rawat as well, who was termed as Sadak Ka Gunda by the Congress leader Sandeep Dixit. So time and again, as far as such questions that have been raised in the past, and now again, it doesn't seem any different as far as the pictures that have now emerged of the Army Chief along with Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh offering prayers at Mahakal. Now, even when it comes to another shocking story that is now coming to light, when it comes to two men assaulting an army officer in Kerala, that has now surfaced, and visuals that are coming on your screens where that can be seen of two men hurling abuses and cornering the army officer. Now, while one man holds the officer by his throat, the other one shoves him against the wall. The officer tries to defend himself, pleading with the assailants to not misbehave with him, but the plea seems to fall on deaf ears. Let's exactly tell you what happened and show exactly through pictures of what happened.
बच्चे जो है उनको लेने के लिए जा रहा हूं यार देखिए मेरे साथ यार मेरे साथ बदतमीजी मत कीजिए मैं
Well, the incident which has triggered strong political reactions, especially coming in from the BJP, where Rajeev Chandrasekhar came down heavily on the Kerala government, accusing it of failing in its basic duty of providing protection to our jawans, to our soldiers. The former union minister exclusively spoke to Times Now on this incident. Let's listen in. BJP leader Rajeev Chandrasekhar is joining us here on the broadcast. Thank you very much for taking out your time and speaking to us here on Times Now. Rajeev Chandrasekhar, you have posted a series of statements on X where you have criticized the Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and the Congress for fostering a culture of lawlessness following the assault that happened on the army officer by a mob at the NCC camp in Kerala over an alleged case of food poisoning. Could you please elaborate on the specific allegations and clarify what action that you are seeking and demanding from the state government?
Look, I think it's quite clear to everybody who's observing Kerala that while we've all accepted that there is a certain lawlessness in Kerala under the watch of the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, who is also the Home Minister, that this shamelessness and this criminality would extend to assaulting a serving Lieutenant Colonel of the Indian Army, men who are in uniform, who are sworn to uphold the security of the nation, who serve this nation, that he would be assaulted by a duo hoodlums in Pinarayi Vijayan's government, under Pinarayi Vijayan's government, is absolutely shameless, and it's taking this lawlessness to an extremely embarrassing, shameless level. I mean, it is breaching every sense of propriety. It is breaching every sense of responsible government and governance. And I have called upon him, if he as Home Minister cannot maintain the rule of law in Kerala, that he should resign. He should resign as Home Minister, and either appoint an efficient Home Minister or resign as Chief Minister if he cannot ensure the safety of a uniformed army officer in Kerala. And I am absolutely furious about it. And this is not politics. This is simply as a citizen of Kerala, as somebody who's part of a family of those who have served India in uniform. I find it absolutely unacceptable that this will happen in my Kerala and in my state.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, you've also mentioned that you will personally monitor the prosecution and the case through the Kochi City Police and the Kerala Police. How do you plan to oversee this process, and in what capacity will you be involved in ensuring that there is legal action taken?
Look, I think your viewers must understand who we are dealing with and what kind of politicians we are dealing with in the Congress and in the left. This is the same Chief Minister, by the way, when I objected to him allowing Hamas elements after the October 7th terrorist attack from addressing and radicalizing Kerala's youth. He then slapped a case on me and called me communal. So it is like we are living in La La Land as far as Pinarayi Vijayan is concerned. It is okay for him to use the law to protect the Hamas in Kerala, but there is a pattern of behavior where he, because of the appeasement politics that Congress and left are in a competitive situation on, that there is a real risk of this case being brushed under the carpet because the two perpetrators involved belong to a certain community. And I will not mention the community on air, but your viewers will certainly understand. And I have told very clearly to Pinarayi Vijayan today that if he attempts to push this under the carpet because of his appeasement politics, I will approach the courts. I will seek sanction of the court to prosecute those police people who are trying to brush this under the carpet, if that happens. And the Home Minister and Chief Minister of the state of Kerala, if they attempt to push this under the carpet and bury this case as they have done for so many cases of violence in Kerala. This is not something that we are going to allow and be mute spectators to. This is certainly reaching the limits of frustration and unacceptability in terms of lawlessness in Kerala is concerned.
So you just mentioned that if Kerala government and the police fail to act, you will approach the courts to seek legal sanction for prosecution. What gives you the apprehension that the Kerala government or the police might fail to act? Moreover, when it comes to the legal precedent or mechanism, would you rely on when it comes to prosecute government officials or police officers for alleged inaction?
Look, it is a standard operating practice of the Kerala police under Pinarayi Vijayan's Home Ministership to file weak cases which are seldom prosecuted, or if they are prosecuted, they are dismissed by the courts. When you file the case under the wrong sections or the weaker sections of the law, there is an absolute incentive for the courts to dismiss these cases, and that is what there is a long behavioral pattern for the Congress government and the CPM government to make a show of filing a case, and then in a few days the case is buried, the perpetrators get off scot-free, and the crime is forgotten. But I want to assure Pinarayi Vijayan that this is not going to be forgotten, and nobody is going to walk away from this without this matter being adjudicated correctly and firmly under the laws of this land. As much as the CPM and the Congress want to pretend that Kerala is some sort of a different land, Kerala is a part of India. The criminal jurisprudence and the broader law impacts and is valid even in Kerala, and we will make sure that if Pinarayi Vijayan forgets it, we will remind him.
So I ask you this because you've accused the Kerala government and the Congress of fostering a culture of lawlessness and also engaging in shameless appeasement. Could you further elaborate on these very specific instances or patterns that, in your view, reflect this appeasement charge?
Anybody today who has studied Kerala politics knows that the history of Kerala politics is beset with violence, violent crimes, people being killed, people from, I don't want to make this political, but people from different political ideologies have been killed and have become vicious victims of this kind of a brazen violence, and a violence that doesn't seem to be deterred by any presence of the law or the police. And this is not just yesterday's issue, or this is not day before yesterday's issue. It is a long pattern. And I have seen cases where cases are filed by the police, and 2 days later the accused get off scot-free, or a few months later the accused get off scot-free because the case cannot be prosecuted due to the flimsy grounds it's been filed on. This is not unique, this is not unusual, this is standard operating pattern for Pinarayi Vijayan's government, and followed closely by the India alliance partner, the Congress party. So therefore that's the reason I make this point, that if there is any attempt to push this under the carpet, we as individuals and many other people will go approach the courts and ask the court to supervise the monitoring and monitor the investigation and prosecution of these two criminals.
Because you have urged the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan to wake up and do your duty, but beyond legal action, what specific measures would you recommend to enhance when it comes to law enforcement and governance in Kerala to prevent and to address such incidents more effectively?
Look, to me there is nothing more shameful than a government permitting an assault on a serving uniformed army officer, because look, these are the same army officers just a few months ago who were risking life and limb to rescue those in distress in Wayanad. Every natural disaster from 2018 onwards, today we have seen repeatedly how the army and the other paramilitary forces have come out and served the people of Kerala, saved the people of Kerala, and certainly saved the Chief Minister from embarrassment of having no resources or no way to protect his own people. So the least you can expect from any responsible government is to ensure that such criminalities are pursued vigorously and the criminals are prosecuted under law. But the reason I am skeptical about it is because of the past pattern of behavior of Pinarayi Vijayan and the Congress governments there, which is to let criminals off scot-free in the name of politics. So therefore, my party's criminals are okay to do crimes as long as they are part of my ideology and my party. That should stop. And I hope that Pinarayi Vijayan does not embarrass himself and does what is expected of him as a Chief Minister, as a constitutionally sworn and a Chief Minister sworn to uphold the Constitution of India, that he will do the right thing and learn that he has to occasionally do the duty of a Chief Minister and Home Minister.
But however, your own party leader and Maharashtra Fisheries and Ports Minister Nitesh Rane earlier referred to Kerala as a mini Pakistan during a gathering that was being held in Pune. Although he later clarified that his statement was misconstrued, would you not agree that such remarks are divisive and equally concerning?
Oh, absolutely. There is no way on earth that Kerala is anywhere close to be a mini Pakistan. The people of Kerala are, the great Malayali, the great patriots. They are like any other Indian anywhere in the country. A Rahul Gandhi or a Priyanka Gandhi being elected there is not any reflection of what a Malayali is like or what a Malayali's commitment to our country is like. So therefore, I completely dismiss that statement. If true, if it was misconstrued or misquoted, then of course it is not something to be taken serious note of. But anybody who characterizes my state of Kerala as anything but a great state will find me opposing them tooth and nail.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, there's been another issue that has now cropped up where certain leaders from the opposition has been raising questions over the pictures that have now come across of Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh and the Chief of the Army Staff together, where they are offering puja and they have been mocking and taunting both of them. How would you comment on that picture?
Look, I think there has always been this fringe element in India who used to be the great intellectuals in this country for several decades and years, who thought that celebrating one's faith was somehow not acceptable, or somehow not fashionable, or somehow the white people across the borders did not like it, and so forth, therefore they didn't like it. I have absolutely no problem in celebrating my faith. I have absolutely no problem, and nobody should have any problem with whether it's the Chief of Army Staff or the Raksha Mantri or anybody in this country celebrating their own faith. It's something to be proud of, and anybody who has a problem with that can go look for a hole and bury themselves in it, and it is their problem to solve, that they have to solve. I find it absolutely a good thing that we are proud of who we are, and we celebrate who we are, and we celebrate the faith that we believe in.
Rajeev Chandrasekhar, appreciate you taking out your time and speaking to us here on Times Now. Thank you very much for joining.